Good morning, Service Alliance community. Hope everybody's doing great out there.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm still enjoying my turkey.
You liquefy your turkey now?
That would actually, it doesn't sound like an appetizing protein shake, does it? Turkey?
No.
Turkey and chocolate brownie pudding mix. I don't know. Yeah.
Gravy.
To your health. It kind of does look like gravy, actually.
Yes, it does. All right. Well, today what are we talking about today? We're talking about leadership habits that change businesses in 12 months.
That we are. I think I would love to have John Maxwell come sit in on this one because I know he's all about leadership and habits.
We could teach him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He is the king of leadership topics. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
I love reading his books.
Yep. Yes.
So
we're talking about leadership. So I gotta grab my notes. Yeah. Leadership habits. I know a lot of companies, they don't stall their businesses because of bad technicians. They don't stall because of bad marketing. They stall because of why? The leader hasn't installed the habits that create all these different things like clarity, momentum, and accountability in their business. So your business can only rise to the level of your habits, not your hopes. All right. So that's what we're talking about today. We're going to go through a handful of different leadership habits. And if you commit to them for the next 12 months, it's going to completely transform the way that your business operates. I mean, it's like the 12, I started actually working on that song, the 12 months of metrics. We talked about that last week.
Did you really?
The 12 months of habits. Might be a whole I'm going to try to get these to you by the 20th, for your mastermind.
We could all do this 12 days of this, 12 months of that.
Yeah. The 12 months of habits.
We should theme everything that way this month.
That would be fun. All right. So what are we talking about next week? The 12 months of
next week is budgeting.
12 months of budgeting. That sounds so dull and boring, but
I know
we're going to make it fun. We're going to make budgeting fun again.
It wasn't ever fun to begin with.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You're a nerd because I've never found it to be fun.
Shayna, if she was on here, she'd be like, I love numbers. Numbers are so
and I'm a data nerd.
Zach's going to love that little sound bite I just did of Shayna. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll clip that out and send it just to her.
I love numbers. They're so much fun. All right. Well, hey, all right. Let's get this show on the road. And
I'm going to pray us in, and then
you knows we need it.
Go over a verse. All right. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, and we are so thankful for all that you've done for us. Thankful for our families. Thankful for having these businesses that we can actually learn how to run them effectively. We have these businesses that you've bestowed upon us, and all these opportunities that maybe we didn't have before in our previous work lives. And however long everybody out there has been running a business, there's always something to learn and always something to be thankful for, even in the down times. And with a positive attitude, we can always look to you, Lord, and give thanks. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. It's good. You preached a little bit, I'm pretty sure.
A little bit.
Reminds me, there's an old, I don't like before, like Hillsong and all these other ones, there was like Maranatha, and I can't remember some of the Hosanna like music back in the like 80s and 90s. And there was a song called Give Thanks. And so I don't know, it popped in my head for some reason. I'm gonna have to listen to that a little bit later. I'm not even going to try to attempt to sing it at 7:00 in the morning. So
no, please don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Verse we're going to shoot for today is James 1:5. That's James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, and it will be given to you. It sounds like it's just that easy, doesn't it? God just got to ask, and it will be given unto you. All right. Well, let's talk about that in the leadership aspect of it. So, leadership is not about trying harder, it's about seeking the wisdom to lead better. Good leaders act. Great leaders act with clarity. Clarity. I want to make sure I pronounce that really clear. Great leaders act with clarity. So, I mean, that's a great example. Like, Austin's put me in charge of the sales team now, and our sales team here is actually growing. We've got, I think 5 of us now that does sales total between Isaiah, Shayna, Austin, myself, and then we've got a new guy that just came on board. So it's pretty exciting. And so he put me in charge of the sales team because he's like, "You're the best salesperson we've got." That's just because of the years of, doing electrical work and going out and serving people. You hear some people talk, it's all about the sales. It's really about the serving, right? And just talking with people, understanding what their issue is and give them a solution for it. It really can be just that simple. And so in that aspect, it's not about trying harder. It's just about seeking the wisdom. So literally between Chat GPT, God, and, years of just serving people, I'm coming up with a program that's a sales training for our team. And it's like, I'm doing it from scratch. I didn't want to utilize anybody else's sales stuff. I wanted it customized specifically for ours. So, it is one of those things that it can be just that simple. Ask God, it'll be given to you. I started with, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I just sat down and started looking at what we needed. And then, I think sometimes God works through ChatGPT. Just saying, not going to say that, the G might stand for God. I don't know, but I call my ChatGPT G just for that reason. So
GTP stands for God the Powerful.
Hey,
God the Provider.
That's GTP. GT. Yeah, GP.
Oh yeah, I got the number or letters mixed around.
We'll figure out, something for that too. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we got a lot of habits to go through today. So I'll let you start us off.
Habit 1, clarity of direction, as you were talking. Daily and weekly. These are some things that you need to do, whether you have a team or whether you don't have a team. This is going to be foundational for what you're going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. So remember, this is a 12-month plan, just like we've been talking about with the KPIs last week, and going through business planning and all that stuff that we covered over the past month. These are things that are going to happen over time, month after month. So most business owners don't really anchor their team with a clear mission. And when you don't anchor your team with a clear mission, weekly priorities, and you got to draw a line in the sand with your non-negotiables. If it doesn't align with your core values and your company direction and your mission, then don't do it. Make sure everything aligns there first. Get some 5-minute morning clarity routine for yourself. Just literally take 5 minutes, jot some notes down. How do you start your morning, Jason? Like, how do you just wake up and say, this is what I've got on my plate today?
No, I go pee. That's the clarity aspect. Get the system clear. The mind is focused. Yeah. I'm a very routine person when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, if I don't shower before I go to bed, I shower first thing in the morning. But yeah, I am a devotionals. I've been reading Jesus Calling. It's funny you mentioned this. I've been reading Jesus Calling since 2010. If anybody's heard of the Emmaus community, Emmaus Walk, I did an Emmaus Walk back in 2010. So that's part of my routine. I do some kind of devotional every morning. I actually had a routine there for about 8-9 months. I had ChatGPT created my morning routine for me. And as far as devotion, prayer, sending a text to my wife, and little things. So, meditation, devotion, prayer, looking at the calendar to see what my day looks like, usually checking weather. So those are kind of like the top 3, after I pee. So there you go.
Well, every Monday,
I threw you off there, didn't I?
a little bit. I wasn't expecting the whole go and pee thing being part of this, but that's fine. Yeah. Everybody's got to do it, right?
Protein shake. I'm a protein shake and banana in the morning kind of guy. Literally every morning. That's just part of my habit.
You got to start. It's the most important meal of the day.
True.
So they say. All right. Weekly mission reminders for the team. Here's what matters this week. What matters every week? You need to start every Monday. This is what's going to matter this week.
Mm-hmm.
And get everybody in alignment. If you've got a team or you don't have a team, you need clarity on what matters this week. It's not just going out and running calls. That's just a part of what you have to do regardless. But what matters? Get some clarity that reduces technician mistakes, confusion, frustration. Get everybody on the same page. Unclear objectives for your week are going to create those hidden chaos things like callbacks, tension, missed KPIs.
Yeah.
We talked about KPIs. We talked about goals last month. All of this works together with the leadership aspect. So you have to make sure that all of that is combined in what you're putting together when you're leading your business and your team. So I got a couple of quick things that you can ask yourself every single week. This week, we're focusing on blank. Success by Friday looks like blank. And your role for this is blank. And then fill out those 3 things. That's basically your template. This week, you're focusing on what? Success by Friday looks like what? Your role in this is what? Just those 3 quick things can help you really focus and get clarity around your team.
Focus. Yeah. That's good. I like it. Clarity of direction. That's good. Okay. So the next habit we're going to talk about is communication. So having a consistent communication, like rhythm, right? So if your communication is random, your performance will be too. So what this looks like, and you've heard me talk about it a little bit before here, you could have like a daily 7 to 10 minute huddle right before you get going off work. My team typically, for the most part, we met at an office when we were doing electrical work. And we would, get together for a short minute and just talk about the day, make sure everybody had the materials they need. If not, they would go get stuff, or I would. But yeah, those little daily huddles with your team can really make a big difference. Weekly one-on-ones, your team, they want to see support, right? And so if you have that consistent support in place for them, the rhythm of support, the rhythm of accountability, the rhythm of alignment, it helps with our business currently at my office help. So we have one-on-ones. Tracy does that. She does one-on-ones with all of the team members each week. Simple check-in. Hey, how's things going? It's 10 to 20 minutes per person. There is no like set time limit. I mean, she tries to keep it under 15, 20 minutes, but it's all about listening to the team member. hey, how are things going? What's, going good? Where do you need help? Where do you need training? Hey, let's talk about this. So it's just a check-in with them once a week with the team member. Once a week, we have a leadership meeting just to talk about what's going on in the business. Then we have a weekly team meeting that's held to go over numbers. It's usually it's split up in a couple different teams because the team's gotten rather large, which is awesome. But that's just to talk about what's going on in the business, what's going good, what may need to focus on training. So then we have our quarterly meetings where the entire company comes together and we have a really cool quarterly meeting to talk about where we've been, where we're at, where we're going. So it's just one of those things, the check-ins with your team, let them know that communication. We use Slack with all of our clients. So consistently checking in with our clients throughout the day. The team is always talking. We've got 2 different chats. One's specifically for business stuff, and the other one's just kind of a fun channel, right? So, there's all kinds of stuff that gets you. Hey, I've got stupid cookies in the break room. Go grab you one, or maybe a stupid joke or a meme. Just stuff to kind of keep the day light. When you're in an office setting like this, it can really get boring. So you got to keep it light sometimes somehow. And the culture is big. So this helps with culture and having that consistent communication aspect. So, the 3-question method, what's working, what's stuck, what do you need from me when doing like those, even just like a 1-to-1, easy questions to how's things going, what's working for you, where are you stuck at, where you need some training, and then what do you need from me? How can I help you? So consistent communication rhythms, getting into those habits.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way with the servant leader aspect of things. Servant leadership. That last one. What do you need from me? Every time I meet with my team or do one-on-ones, that is one of the questions that I ask. What do you need from me, and how can I help you be better?
Yeah.
Especially when you ask, where are you stuck? What's stuck? A lot of times they won't bring that out until you specifically ask them.
Yep.
What are you stuck on? What challenges are you having? Where do you feel like you should be doing better? Where do you feel like, I don't want to use the word failing, but lacking in knowledge or information, or tools to do your job. What do you need from me? I think those are great ways to pull things out of employees that normally they wouldn't just come forward with. So it helps the communication a lot more. So let's talk about the third habit. We talked about KPIs. So this is all going to tie into KPIs. You got to have that scoreboard. Scoreboard driven leadership is an easy way to show people what they can't normally see, right? This gives you, numbers don't lie. Okay. As long as they're input accurately or collected accurately.
I thought it was these hips don't lie. Oh, that's Shakira. Okay. No.
Please don't sing. For all that is holy in the world, don't sing. Especially that one. But anyway, getting back to this, KPIs are your guardrails. They're not punishment tools. They're just guardrails. It keeps everybody in their lane, going in the same direction that they're supposed to be going. Transparent scoreboards improve motivation, and it can help you hold them accountable. Okay. It's one thing to try and hold an employee accountable based on your own feelings or ideas of what something should be. But when it's tied to a number, it can't be denied. And as long as they understand those are the KPIs that they need to be shooting for, and they're realistic, don't make them so far out there, the goals so far out there that they're not attainable.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily hold people more accountable. Okay.
Yeah.
And owners who hide those numbers, it completely makes you distrustful. Okay. Employees are going to be confused. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to really work hard because they're going to flounder. Let's face it, because they don't have a clear direction. We talked about a lot of these last week, was it? Yeah, last week.
KPIs, yeah.
You know, all the KPIs. Go watch that video if you missed it, and go through all those KPIs that we talked about. You know, calls run, revenue generated, completion rate, callback, Google reviews, conversion rates, all that good stuff. So when the numbers are visible, behavior changes organically and things will naturally get better. I've found through all the years, all the different things that I've ever done, there's two things that will change your business almost overnight. And
gold,
that's having
bars of gold.
Bars of gold would change your life, not your business. But that's number one, communication, clear communication. Number two, tracking those numbers. Those, I'd say those are the top two things that you can do better. If you could improve two things in your business, they're going to make the biggest difference for you. It's those two things.
Yeah.
Even if you're a one-man show, those two things will drastically improve everything. Because 99% of the time, all your problems come down to communication issues.
Yep, I like it. Next habit we're going to talk about is quick correction and immediate praise, is the way I like to say it. Leadership is not catching people doing things wrong. It's catching them becoming great. I'm going to say that again. Leadership is not catching people doing wrong. It's catching them becoming great. Why does this matter? Well, delayed correction leads to resentment. Oftentimes, if you don't catch the issue right away and you just let it happen, and then all of a sudden you're going to try to resolve it, yeah, you're going to have a lot of issues there. I know that from experience. Timely praise builds culture, right? And I like to say praise in person, or praise in public, correct in private. Yeah, that's the right phrase. Praise in public, correct in private. You know, so if you're going to praise somebody, praise them in front of the entire team. People love that recognition, right? I mean, a lot of people do. There are a few that don't, but praise them in public. Let them know in front of the entire team. Hey, did you see what Bree did this week? Man, that's great. She had an inbound call rate of 90 calls today, and with a 83 or 88% booking rate. You know, I mean, whatever it may be. We try to shoot for like 93%, so I'm sure hers is like 93%. Actually, hers is probably better than that. She's one of the better ones. So, anyway. So it's praising in public, building that culture. You know, both of these things require leadership. Your leadership to be present. We correct for alignment, and we praise to reinforce who we are. So that's all I got for quick correction and immediate praise.
That's great. Praise is definitely part of it. This next habit is one that I feel I used to have a challenge with this. And I feel that most business owners I've ever talked to also have this issue. Delegation and empowerment. They don't delegate enough, and they don't empower their team enough, and they don't trust their team. So when you can learn to delegate and learn to trust your employees, that's why you hired them in the first place. Okay. You're looking for A players. You need to trust that A player or even a B player that they can do their job and do it, cohesively with the way it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times leaders hold everything so tightly and they won't let go. It chokes out the business.
Yeah.
And it chokes out you as a business owner. Okay. And I had this situation where I gave one of my guys a project and I said, "Here, go do this." And then I realized, okay, I needed to definitely get some clarity around some things. So I gave him some more clarity. I tried to explain everything in the direction that it needed to be done. And he went out and did it.
Hmm.
But then I saw a bunch of failures, like a lot of little things, nothing major. And I caught myself going in and fixing these little things because I could. And it didn't take me that long. But then I stopped after doing, maybe 2 out of 6 or 7 things. I stopped myself and I'm like, I can knock these out in the next 10 minutes, but I'm not going to, because that doesn't hold him accountable for his own quality issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't teach him to raise the bar that much more. It doesn't teach him to pay more attention to things. Okay. So I dumped it all back on him. I reversed the first couple of things that I fixed back to the original state that they were. And I said, here's what I found. And there's possibly more if I kept going through this QC check. I need you to really start paying more attention to these things. It seems like you're rushing, and that doesn't please anybody.
Mm-mm.
So take your time, check everything, and go through it. And I don't want you coming back to me telling me that this project is ready for me to review until you have triple and quadruple checked it. And that's where we're at now. So that was a way it was a teachable moment, but it was also to provide clarity of what my expectations were.
Yeah.
And it was a way to hold him accountable.
You were assigning that ownership with clarity. Like, here's what I want you to do. Yeah.
So it's the only way that you can lead a team is by allowing them to fix their own mistakes, because nobody wants their mistakes, brought to them. Nobody likes seeing that I was expected to do this and I failed at I had all these mistakes. Nobody likes to feel like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it to make him feel bad. I did it to make him do better. Okay. Yeah. Because that is the direction that our whole company is going, in that direction of quality and standards and not having these delays. Just a couple, maybe an hour more of quality control would have eliminated, me wasting my time, then reassigning everything to him. And now I have a trust issue, right? So, and now he may be feeling a certain way, even though I tried not to when I presented it to him, but it's that necessary thing that you have to do. So it's all in the delivery on how you do it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to remind people these are our strategic goals for the business, and these are why these things can't just be let by, even though some of them were really trivial.
Yeah.
But it brings you to another standard. We're not like everybody else. We're bringing the standard up so that others have to come up to us. We're not going back to where they are. They need to, strive to be like us. So delegation for you to lead, make sure that you empower your employees, future leaders, not just have dependent employees.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them to lead themselves strategically. Make sure that they're following your brand and your goals and your vision. So how do you do that? Ownership area, success criteria, and have a reporting rhythm. That's it. It's simple things. So that just assign roles with those three things and things will go a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be a lot more appreciated as a leader of your employees.
Yeah. Empowerment creates leaders, not employees.
Yeah. I don't even like using the word employees anymore.
Yeah.
It's a team. You're
Team
all
members.
a team working for a common goal.
Yep. Well, all right. Let's jump on to the next habit. Let me put it into the chat here. Habit, personal growth and self-leadership. Your business will never outgrow your habits. So what are you doing in your daily routine to keep growing personally as a leader? And I'm not talking about, eating a bucket of fried chicken every day and growing yourself that way. I'm talking about your mindset, right? I've went through a lot of this, and this week I had a moment of clarity on Sunday. It's like, what do I need to do for me moving forward to make sure that my mindset is of a good one? And so it was just it was like a little switch on Sunday morning, just kind of flipped for me. It's like, okay. I really had this moment of clarity of what I need to do on to make myself happy with life, with business. And it's like, maybe I'll share that one day. But your business will never outgrow your habits. Like I said, what leaders who stop learning create plateaus. Your team is going to be following you in how you lead your business. As Mike was just saying in this last part with empowerment, I can go off on a whole different aspect here, but I want to keep aligned here. So you don't want your business plateau. You don't want your leadership to plateau. You don't want to plateau. Your discipline becomes your team's culture. So they're going to follow you in all these aspects. Your pace becomes their normal. We had some issues last year with the phone system that we were with that just totally screwed us over. And it was the phone system. It was not us. But because of what happened with this phone system, our call volume was still there, but we weren't able to answer phones. And this happened for quite some time. And so our team got to this normal of, well, this is just the way it is. And they never came out of that funk. And so we literally sat down with them our last quarter of the meeting. And it's like, this is not our standard. This is our standard. And we have to get back to this standard. And so we set some things in place in the culture aspect, in bonusing and things for you meet this standard, you don't get a bonus. You meet this standard, which is where we want to be at, there's a bonus there. And there's a whole nother aspect behind this, the training that we did. But now almost everybody is up at this standard, which is awesome. And things are happening and moving again. So the pace, right? Your pace becomes the normal. You don't want that if your pace is just crap and, your average ticket is crap, your team sees that. If your average ticket, I'm sorry, is around $250, is that crap? Is that great? You're the one who has to determine that, but your team's going to see that. All right, well, this is the average. This is all I need to go make it this job, right? This house. And that's not right. It's what's going to serve the customer best. And that average ticket may reflect a whole lot more than that because of, and that's where you just got to put it in the customer's hands. I get off on tangents sometimes. So your pace becomes your normal, right? So in your weekly reflections, some questions you can ask yourself is, what did I learn this week? What did I avoid this week? And maybe what do I need to change going into next week? So, yeah.
Yeah, those are really good questions. All right. Habit number 7, decision making filters that speed up execution. I really like this one. This goes into your KPIs, and you should be using these things when you look at your KPIs, because maybe your KPIs are going to help filter out, whether these things are worthy. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're implementing, define your filters. Does it move revenue? That's your number 1. Did it reduce friction? Meaning, how easy was it to implement? Did it cause problems with your team? Does your team have an attitude problem about doing that thing? Okay.
Never.
Is it a struggle for them? Even if they don't have an attitude problem, is it a struggle for them? Are they stuck with it? So does it remove friction? The next one is, does it strengthen the brand? How does it uphold your business in the brand aspect?
Mm-hmm.
And does it empower the team? If it doesn't empower your team to allow them to have freedom to make decisions, to make calls, to do those judgment things that they have to do on the spot without picking up the phone and calling you and asking permission, that's empowerment. Okay. And yeah, they're going to make some wrong calls every once in a while. You as the business owner have made a lot of wrong calls too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't allow them the freedom to make those calls, they're never going to get better. You can never tweak things and explain things to them. I've got one employee, he's only been with me for a couple months. I've given him a decent, I've empowered him to go out and make his own judgment calls. And I'm shadowing him, and I'm listening to calls. I'm listening to how he's interacting with people, what he's saying. And for the most part, he's amazing. But every once in a while, he'll say something that he probably shouldn't, or in a way that he shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just jump on the phone with him and say, hey, I saw this. I saw you did a great job here. There's just one little thing, one little area that maybe we should work on.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you just didn't understand it. And I put it this way. Maybe I didn't teach it to you or give you enough clarity around this thing. And this is what it is. And approaching it that way has made a world of difference. And
that's good.
This newer employee has been able to get up to speed so much faster by approaching it that way. It's like, you did this wrong. You don't ever want to do that. It's because it's probably not their fault. It could be that you didn't explain something clearly enough, or put it in a way that they could understand it better. Or you've just thrown so much new information at this employee, you cannot expect them to know and learn everything right away. It takes time. So you need to think about that when you're empowering your team. But if you don't empower them, they're never going to get better. You're never going to be able to find out what they truly can do for you.
Yeah.
So
Good.
If an owner makes a decision faster, the company accelerates faster. All right.
Good stuff.
So let's wrap this up. Leadership is not about charisma. It's about keeping things consistent. And don't overestimate the complexity of how leadership can give you, it can empower you as a leader. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't underestimate all of the power and these simple habits can do for you if you implement them every week. It's not that hard. They're actually quite simple. So if you follow these 7 habits for 12 months, I can guarantee you your company won't even look the same in 12 months from now.
Yep. You won't lead the same either. You'll be a different person.
Yeah.
Your team will finally know, Mike, where you're taking them.
Finally know. Hey, I mean, I've been implementing things like this for at least a year, and we're nowhere near what we were a year ago. Night and day difference. So I really love my team, and we get along, and I don't churn people. That's the thing. When you empower your team, and you lead the team, and it's not about training, and it's about wisdom. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Does that employee have more wisdom now than when they first started? And when I say wisdom, I'm not talking about knowledge. You can teach most people knowledge, but do they have the wisdom to know what to do with that knowledge? That's where things need to go. So, all right.
I like it.
This has been a good show. One, so
it has.
We're going to wrap up.
Lots of good stuff, lots of good information. If there's something that you liked, be sure to pay the fee, which is free. And that's just simply like, subscribe, share. Go to Service Alliance Group, Appliance Marketing Pros, My Office Help, and on your favorite social media channels. And give us a like. And then we got a mastermind coming up on December 20th.
Yes. Budgeting. Zach is going to lead that one. And
should be a good one. I got an email about that, I think, the other day. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
Well,
all right. Y'all make it a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.